2020.
In a time that seems like none other,
This disease is killing people.
Unconstitutional hunker down order.
My father hadn't been killed like this.
Everybody knows he's a liar.
Nothing smart about you, Joe.
a chance to go deep with two people who have their finger on the pulse of American politics. Democratic strategist and former DNC chair Donna Brazile and former RNC chair Michael Steele. On opposite sides, yet they agree on a common enemy behind the polarized politics of today.
It starts with the fact that not only are we divided along party lines, but often along class lines, regional lines.
How we let that tribalism sort of infect institutions that citizens need.
One of those things, additional help because of the coronavirus pandemic. The parties unable to compromise on a second stimulus package.
Because they're stuck on stupid. I can't put it any plainer than that. I mean, this is the least partisan moment. This is not a complicated issue at a time like this.
What is the answer? Do we have to vote everyone out and start over? Honestly.
Brooke, can I take that one, please?
Yes, you can, Michael. Go ahead.
Yeah, you may have to do that. I mean, when you're stuck on stupid.
We have a crisis of leadership in this country, and it's not just at the top, it's across the board.
Voters even got a chance to ask their questions as part of the discussion.
Do we think that all debates should be conducted before actual voting begins?
Steele says that wouldn't be easy, with some states like North Carolina allowing votes to be cast in mid-September, just 2 weeks after the party conventions.
I think we're going to have to live with voting taking place, which means, as a candidate, run a good campaign. Run a campaign in which you bank that vote as early as you can.
The conversation turned to the law and order catchphrase used by Republicans after the looting and rioting connected to the racial equality movement.
Law and order works in a lot of white communities around the country because their experience with the law is not the same as it is for African Americans. It's not that we're against law and order. No, absolutely not. But we also know what happens when the law and the order are out of sync.
And Brazile was pressed on the topic of packing the courts, perhaps even adding liberal justices to the Supreme Court.
Hey, that's what they did with their majority. If the Democrats are able to get control of the Congress or in control of the United States Senate, this is going to be an issue. So I don't know if there's an appetite. I do know that there are some progressives in the Democratic Party that would like to see it happen.
Often at odds, still friends. Clearly evident as they laughed and discussed together, even talking food.
That's someone that I'm going to go and have a nice, tall Louisiana drink with, right?
And some gumbo. You know I will stir it up for you.
It seems appropriate that a conversation which began with the polarization of politics never turned to screams or rudeness. In fact, it's what Steele hopes comes in 2021.
I want our economy back. I want our schools reopened. I would like to see this virus under control.
Before we get to all of that, we've got to reconnect as citizens, as Americans. How many of you Hoosiers out there are mad at a family member because they support Donald Trump or they support Joe Biden? How many of you are upset with a friend because they're not a part of your tribe, because you have political differences?